I like the idea that it's a journey. And I think a lot of times people think ABM, it's a destination, and they get really hung up on like, what is this complete all encompassing ABM program? And the idea that it's a journey and you can sort of start and you can learn along the way, you can build the tech stack along the way. I think that's a great approach. Is anything else you want to add here? Because I think, this has been a great conversation and we could wrap here. I think that was a great close in terms of how to do ABM successfully and what's worked for you.
Yeah, I'll wrap with a kind of one closing thought on it. It's probably a quote that which is, ABM is totally a journey. And what I found is that as we executed different tactics and we got different buy-in and different proof points as we did it, it really started to crystallize the value behind it. And it got, I stood up at a sales kickoff last year and showed metrics and walked the company through it. And people were like, oh, we can start to see it. But it was a tactical journey. And one of the the quotes I've always loved from Benioff at Salesforce, the CEO, is that he would always say, tactics dictate strategy. And I think that always totally messed with people's heads. They're, wait a minute, here's one of the most brilliant strategic thinkers, marketers of all time, and he's saying tactics before strategy. What? And so, but I think he's right. I think there's a high level strategy, but sometimes you just need to get the pieces going. And as they kind of get on the board, the strategy and the proof of the strategy becomes more clear. If you put a couple of tactical pieces on the board and the strategy gets foggier, you're going in the wrong direction. And so that's been kind of a learning for me as we've gone through it and kind of helped shape my thinking.
I love that. And, we used to always repeat that back when we were at Salesforce, but it doesn't get old. I do think, have a good idea, have that idea of what the end game looks like. You also talked about your pitch deck internally and how you kind of painted what good looks like. So you were telling people where you're trying to go, but then you're implementing a tactic to kind of get there along that journey. And then being able to come back to people to say, hey, look, we set out on this journey. We said, this is what good looks like. We did one thing. We're not at the end. Let's now go to the next thing. Let's go to the next thing. And that also builds your credibility. It builds a momentum within the team. I always talk about how it's not worth it to try and build, the super ultimate Maserati when in fact, if you start with a bicycle, you might be okay. It's important to get that win with the bicycle, with the thing that you can get on right away, and then get to the next level, and kind of build on it, which it sounds like you've done.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to summarize it. Start with the bicycle, not the Maserati.
Yeah.